Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. Back in the gym finally after about a week off. This sinus infection really kicked my butt, but I haven't been able to train for roughly a week. Today marks the start of the Juggernaut A.I coaching powerlifting program, which I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. As part of that, I mentioned the first couple of weeks, in fact, the first probably 17 weeks or so, should be more hypertrophy based, which is kind of what I'm looking for. But I really wanted to focus on the main compound lifts and barbell movements, and that's why I decided to do the powerlifting template instead of the power building one. Now, my goal for this training program is to kind of chronicle week to week how I'm doing and some of the things with the programming in terms of how it's changing, how it's adjusting, and what I put in on a particular day. And I'll get into that as the weeks progress. For this first initial video and the first initial week, what I'm going to do is make a video for every single day that I train, which is going to be 5 days a week. My goal behind this is to show you the basic layout of each day, and then going forward, once I establish that, probably just do weekly updates. Now, the reason I'm doing just the first week is because the exercises themselves probably won't change for the foreseeable future. So for the first block or even multiple blocks, the exercise selection should stay the same. What is going to change, however, is both the volume of the exercise done, the amount of reps done, and some of the RPE-based stuff, but the selection themselves shouldn't change. And the selection comes around, obviously, the main competition movements, but also when you sign up for the AI coaching program, you go in and you select some certain things in terms of what you have access to in the gym or your home gym, in my case, as well as where you typically miss some of your main lifts, so your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. And that's going to give you recommended exercises depending on that. So just kind of want to chronicle this and just note that this wouldn't be the same necessarily if what you're doing, unless you happen to have the exact same equipment and the exact same issues with your lifts that I do. Now, that being said, one of the things I really like about this program starting off, which I haven't seen in a lot of other programs, is that it comes with the first 2 weeks as more of a transitional or introductory phase, meaning that you're getting the same basic routine that you would initially, but it's gradually working your way up, because when this week one starts, as I've noticed from watching Garrett's chronicle and journal of his own journey on this program, is the first week can be pretty tough with both high volume and typically high RPEs. So in order to ease yourself in, it kind of builds towards that for the first 2 weeks and lets you acclimate to the program appropriately. One of the other things I like about the AI coaching program, which I've run in the past, this is just the first time running the Juggernaut version of it, is the fact that you put in the fatigue levels per day, and then as the program goes on, the program will adjust based off to really what you can handle. And I should say, when you do fill out that initial form and questionnaire, it asks you what type of volume you're most closely associated with in terms of your normal training. That way it doesn't necessarily kill you, or it doesn't give you too little if you're really responding well to high volume. So that being said, day one is in the books, and again, it's more of an acclimation phase for me. So start off with high bar squats, which besides not lifting for a week, I haven't done high bar in a very long time. I'm using the Strong Arm Sport squat bar, which I'll do a review on soon, but I liked it a lot, but really kind of felt my way up to my top working set of the day, which just so happened to be around 155 kilos. After I worked up to that and felt like it was about an RPE 6, RPE 7, I marked that down in the training program and moved on to a couple of back off sets, which all moved really, really well. So happy with how these felt, given the fact that I haven't really done these in a long time. Still need to really work on getting a comfortable bar placement, but the weights moved really well here. Then moved on to feet up bench, and again, this moved pretty well. I think luckily for me, or unluckily for me, I don't have a big arch to begin with, so this isn't necessarily anything hard for me to do. So it's right around probably where my bench would be anyways, given the fact that, again, I have taken some time off. But again, as I acclimate here and put in the correct RPEs for based off what this felt like, the program should adjust to make it more difficult or add more volume as needed. From there, moved on to some bicep movements, which I'm actually glad to see in here because I've really been neglecting my arms, and my arms have really been neglecting me. And again, just going to add in volume here over time. It's a little bit nice because I haven't done these in a long time, and even though I do like to train for powerlifting, having big arms is something that I think everybody kind of wants in a sense. So that felt good as well. The program then called for lat pull downs. I don't have access to that, unfortunately, here in my home gym, so I substituted those for just some weighted pull-ups. Haven't done these in a while, so I'm going to start slow and work my way up. Need to really focus on my range of motion here. And one of the things that I'm struggling with, and it's going to take some time to get used to, is not necessarily setting the right RPE, because I'll get there, but setting a weight at the first set that's going to last me through the last set. Because oftentimes the first set feels really light and I struggle trying to decide if I should bump the weight up. But typically what I find is that even if I keep the weight static by the fourth set, in some cases, I'm really burnt out. So trying to judge that from the first set to the last set is something I'm going to have to get used to. But again, it will come in time. And then finally, what I ended with was some snatch grip deadlifts, which really was a burner on my cardiovascular system, because doing sets of 12 for deadlifts, especially super wide grip ones like this, was interesting and tired me out. But one of the things that I've really tried to focus on here is kind of getting my hips under the bar in a sense, where I'm using more of my legs. My legs definitely felt it. So all in all, day one is in the books. It felt pretty good. Looking forward to continuing on the rest of the week. I'll be updating you guys all this week on the training programs. And then again, like I said, be giving you weekly updates on this AI programming. And once I get to the point where I do a test or I've run it long enough, I'll do an update and an overall review of the beginning session. Depending on how long I stay on it, I'll give you updates further on every block or so. So in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.